I think we're live. Are we here?
Are you live? You look like you're there. Am I here?
It looks kind of live.
Right, can we get some words from the chat? Can you hear? You should be able to see myself and Paul, aka
Train simulator driver. G'day, mates.
and Jamie. You're on the horn, aren't you?
I am. I'm miles away. So yes, I'm here as well. So you've got some really special guests today. So it's going to be a really good stream.
Yeah. So what brings you to these parts, Paul?
I just had this random idea that why not try and visit as many railways as I could in the UK? So I did.
Where have you been?
And I've been on a sort of a circle around the country. So I started off with, I've got to try and remember them all now. And you got the list, so you'll catch me out if I'm wrong.
I'm checking them off as you go.
So I started out at Bluebell, then I went to West Somerset, Llangollen, Festiniog, Welsh Highland Railway, the National Museum, and then the last one, which was only yesterday. No, there's two more. East Lancs. East Lancs did
Wow.
that one, and then I did North Yorkshire Moors. That was yesterday.
Awesome. Wow.
Wow.
That's some pretty good travelling going on there.
And on Festiniog,
Brilliant.
I was lucky enough to fire the little green locomotive, Dolgok.
Hey. Awesome.
Ah, brilliant. That's awesome.
Excuse me. That's really good.
That's all.
How's the weather been treating you when you've been down here? I mean, it's been a bit variable lately, hasn't it?
Well, on the first day, I got typical London weather, and it rained.
Okay.
And I had to make a video about that and say, this is London. And then
Thanks.
the rest of the time, it's actually been really good. So I've had,
Did you make a video about that though?
I did,
Hey.
mid to high teens for the most part, and predominantly sunny until the day before yesterday when I had to walk 1.5 miles to my B&B. And then it just decided, we're going to give you a present.
Exactly.
Clearly didn't
Now is
watch.
the time for some British weather. Cool.
I
Right.
think Matt, you just need to turn yourself up just a tad.
I'll just get closer to the microphone. That's about the best as I've got. It's already on maximum.
Oh, is it?
um,
Oh, that's fair.
And then I can lean in and yell in Matt's ear.
Yep. What I'll do is I'll lean it that way because we're both sharing the same microphone, you see. It's old school. Jamie, do you want to admin us in?
I will admin you in. So, yes, it's our 15th anniversary. Whoop, whoop. There is a music video if you haven't checked it out. That's really well done by our creative team and our music maestro Ben. Made some brilliant music for it as well. You've also got a Chatham Mainline is free at the moment for this week. Where obviously the office is, it's Chatham Mainline, so it's a good little route to pick up. You've also got the anniversary sale, and also there's also something else. We've got a competition. So the competition started today. It's through Gleam. I will send the link. You get sort of the first route ever released. Routes Ignored, East Coast Mainline Cajun Pass. You get deluxe as well, so there's loads of bits in that. I'll put all the links in the description or in the chat, and there we are. That's all me admin bits, and we're gonna run some awesome routes and locos, aren't we?
We are indeed. We're going to look at three different things. We're not running full scenarios today. We're doing three different ones. So I'll be taking us out on the Black Five on North Wales coast, which was your choice, wasn't it, Jamie? So
It
we've
was
each
my
chosen
choice,
a thing to drive today. What was your choice? You're running second, aren't you? What was your choice?
Yep, Sacramento Northern, and we're going to take one of the interurban cars out of Oakland into San Francisco.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. I drove it earlier on. It was a disaster. So, and then I'm going to be going back on the controls again because one mistake, in the first one wouldn't be enough. So I'm then going to be driving the Wakayama Sakurai, which is the one that I picked because Bing Bong Train.
Big dong.
So yes, I do like it. It's the first Japanese route, if I remember rightly, as well. So it's kind of a real key moment, I think, in the history as well. So which was good. There's a couple of questions on there, Jamie, about the competition. Is that written down somewhere?
Yeah, I'm now putting it in the chat. So there is the competition link there, and also there's a special code that I have been given. I've just got to find the code because you'll get extra entries with that code. So let me just find it. Someone has given me the code, and there it is. It is 15 years of TSC. So
I just
that is
realised
code.
actually that I've got a 2015 shirt on, so I can try and convince everybody. I intended to say that because it's the 15th anniversary and therefore 2015 TS Classic. I intended that 100%. Totally. Definitely wasn't just the next shirt out of the pile, but you know, there it is. Now I've been asked to play a music video as we get started and then again as we finish, because hey, Ben does amazing music. So let's do
Yes.
that, and then we'll get on and drive some trains. Back in a minute, folks. How cool was that?
Yes, it's lovely music. It's done really, really well. And you can get it on Spotify and all sorts now as well. So it's You can have it to play away as your heart desires.
Yes. Right, we'll get on with driving in a second. After we've done our 3 scenarios, we're going to then let British Ace take us out with a scenario of his own. And then that'll
Yeah.
be that's kind of the plan for the stream. So let's see. We still can see everything. Hopefully you can hear as we go.
You haven't got my camera up, you can't see me.
No, that's, you know what? We've had enough trouble getting the tech working without having a remote person causing us trouble. All I'm going to say is you should have turned up earlier. You know.
Sorry.
Right. Okay. Right. No, I couldn't remember which North Wales coastal it was, so I installed all of them. I think it was this one. There it is. Let's do the first one because it's easier, and I might have a hope. Right.
You'll do fine. It hasn't got PZB. What could go wrong?
It hasn't got PZB. Promises, promises. Turn it down a bit. Good morning, driver. You're the controls of 44871, hauling the North Wales Coast Express from Liverpool Lime Street to Holyhead. You'll be taking a train as far as Llandudno Junction, where another crew will take over. Start by loading passengers here at Chester. Your book departure is 11:44, calling at Llandudno Junction only. Right, so let's get this on. We're in Chester Platform 3. Get those on. Let's get the thing in forwards. Right, and then we'll wait. Put the cheaty mode on. Excellent.
Cheating mode, yeah.
Oh, you got to have the F5. F5. It took me a minute to remember what it was, but after I pressed all the buttons earlier on, I found it was F5.
I can attest he did press all the buttons.
All of the buttons, yeah.
all of the yeah.
Smashing the keyboard. Right, let's have a look outside. Anyway, this is so. What? Talk us through the train. This was your pick. What are we looking at here? It's not that one.
So we're looking at the Bossman Games Black 5. If anybody's known me long enough on the streams, Black 5 is my favourite class of locomotive. Hence why I chose that. 44871 is one I've seen quite regularly, and it's one of the locos that I think you know you regularly see on the main line, and very, very regular performer on the Jacobite as well. So yeah, and if you remember back in sort of when you always got a launch of Train Simulator, you always had a Black 5. I think that was one of the things that every launch you basically had it. That was one of the things you had for the first few games at least.
Well, albeit not this one, obviously, because that was the original one. This is the Bossman Games much more recent one, isn't it?
Oh yes.
Yeah, the
yes,
Black 5
course,
has been part of the game since the original Settler Carlisle, not Settler Carlisle.
That was
Somerset and Dorset. So it began
That's
with
it,
an S.
correct,
It
yeah.
began with an S. I was close.
Well done.
Where you had the Black 5 and the 7F. I always loved that 7F. I've got to be honest. And
Yeah.
I really like. Is it West Somerset of the Prussian Blue one?
Yes, yeah. So it's just I think it's one of those locos that is a go anywhere, do anything machine, and it's one that's quite memorable. And Bossman Games has done a fantastic job on it. It really does feel like the real thing, and it's an awesome engine.
There we go. So we're on the North Wales coast. Let's have a look at the route. What we got here. So this is the Holyhead Crew route, is it?
Yeah, I think it
It's
is.
just
Yeah,
Crew down
it's
here.
Crew down there.
Small,
Yeah.
insignificant station that Crew, of course, is. Unimportant to the railways entirely. And then out to... this is Llandudno. Yeah, this is Llandudno. So this is... There's another version of this route that goes out to Holyhead, isn't there? If I remember rightly.
Yeah,
Where's this? Chester. There you go.
yeah, Chester.
It's been a while. I'm trying to remember, all right? Leave me alone.
That's all right. No, you're fine. But yeah. So and actually, it's quite interesting because so one of the things Matt, you'll have to think of this for your section as well. I've been thinking about sort of like the history of how I got into Train Simulator Classic, and thinking about how when was the first version and what was the first version of Train Simulator I ever got. And I can remember it. It was I got mine on Christmas Day, and it was Train Simulator 2012 was my first iteration.
I can beat all of your hands down on that front.
And I had the deluxe edition, which had all the. I don't know if you can remember, Matt, but they had the deluxe edition had all the little postcards in it, and you had all like it came with, I can't remember what loco it was. It was an extra engine, but yeah, that was sort of my first intro into Train Simulator Classic. And we used to, me and my mates used to do like races, so we used to Skype each other and then race. We'd all download the same route, sometimes, you know, freeware, third-party routes, and we'd all drive from A to B using different locos, and whoever got there first, it was, and we used to do all that. It was one of the things, and then I used to make YouTube videos and all sorts. So, and then 2020, I ended up working for Dovetail. So and here we are.
Pretty good. Yeah. I remember my first one had a steam engine on the front, and it was from probably 08 or ish, I think, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And if I was at home, I could reach into the cupboard and get it out for you, because I've still got it. But you know, my arms aren't that long.
Yeah, you can. You haven't got a long length to contest,
I'm just going to turn the audio of the game down a bit because I suspect this is going to probably get a bit deafening. So let us know if the audio is a problem, folks.
North Wales is all right.
There we go, we're moving now.
I'll soon pick up speed.
I almost look competent. Hey,
Hey.
almost.
We've almost made 20 mile an hour.
You've already made Heritage Railway speed.
I'm going to be doing this an awful lot, by the way. Jumping to the back of the train external camera. I'll let you all figure out why, you know. Well, actually, you're right. No, Southern Bell probably would be the first one. You're right, Bean Kid. Southern Bell followed by Evening Star by Hewson Consultants on the Sinclair Spectrum. They would have been my first forays into train simulation. Jamie's silent because I've turned down the audio of the game, which of course turns Jamie down because he's remote. Let me open the Windows volume mixer and try and fix that. Hang on. And now I can turn the main volume back on.
Yeah.
Right. Jamie, talk. See if anyone can hear you.
I'm talking. Can people hear me? Can people hear me?
Well, I can hear you, but that's not that helpful.
That's good. Well, at least you can hear me. That's fine. Oh,
Dragon
Victory Works
32 Victory Works. Wow.
Excellent. Yeah, my first
Yeah, that's
simulation
great,
game
man.
would have been MSTS.
Yes. Yeah. I did have MSTS back in the day.
Yeah, I had MSTS as well, but no, I remember. So my sort of history on Train Sim Classic specifically was because I used to run a website. A few of you might have known, and I got invited to go down to see a company called Kuju in Godalming, and they said that because Kuju had actually been the company that developed Microsoft Train Simulator for Microsoft. And they said they'd been approached by starting to work with Electronic Arts, and they said, so we're going to make a new game for it, and it's basically going to be a train simulator. So I remember going back there several times since then, since that point, and looking at test builds and all sorts of things, and when they first had a loop of track. They just literally had a loop of track. They were driving a train round and round in circles and all sorts of fun things. It was, yeah, it was really interesting watching the development of, because I've seen the development of that game followed by Train Sim World. So it's interesting to see them, you know, from grassroots, nothing being built up into products that have been going for a long time. It's incredible seeing how much they've changed. I mean, if you compare like Railworks, which was sort of the original release of this from Dovetail, with what we've got now in Train Sim Classic 2024, it's just, there's no comparison. You have to go and have a look videos for it to just remind yourself how different it is. You know, do you remember so you joined at 2012, is that when you started playing?
Yeah, it's 2012.
So TS 2012 was when the TSX graphics engine was introduced. Prior to that, there was no rain effects on Windows. There was only short American trains, because the physics system couldn't cope. You had no whim, you know, with the head camera movement. None of that was there.
Yeah.
And the lighting system was incredibly simplistic versus the lighting system. So TSX was a whole lighting update. It's almost like the TOD 3 to TOD 4 in Train Sim World terms for those that know such things.
Yeah.
And that all kind of came about in TS 2012. And that kind of really turned the game forward. It's been advancing so much since then. And, you know, of course, more recent updates, you've got 64-bit and all sorts of extra stuff being looked at. I saw an option actually in the off settings that was talking about DX12 testing going on. Jamie, I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening there, but
Yeah, they were testing. I don't think. I think unfortunately we couldn't get into DX12. I can't remember the full ins. I'll have to double check the full ins and outs. But we did sort of all sorts of different testing. There's been lots and lots of upgrades. If you haven't had a look on our usual sort of in the beta area and the recent release, there's been all sorts. But yeah, it's amazing how far it's progressed even since then. It's an amazing sort of how many parts of the world the game has gone to as well.
yeah, there's lots of different add-ons. And how far the tech has come along in terms of like the Steam simulation that's going on in this boss man games one versus, you know, what Steam used to look like back in the early days. It's been quite incredible.
Yeah.
The other incredible thing is all the things in this head that he remembers.
So, what were your first trains then in Train Sim Classic?
I was trying to remember back what it actually was. I know there was a steam engine, and I know there was a diesel, and that's not overly helpful. It was
Do you mean
somewhere
is this in
around.
Railworks?
Yeah, it would have been.
The Railworks. So Railworks,
And it
you
was on
had
CD.
East Coast Main Line with the Deltic and 47. You had the Somerset and Dorset line with the Black 57F. And then in Germany was the 101
Yeah,
and
I
the
think it
294,
was,
I think.
See what I mean?
Krieg's
What's in that head?
the other one.
The Deltic would have been a good start. It's a nice noisy thing.
Yeah. I'm guessing you haven't seen one yet, have you, on your UK track? Oh yeah,
I
no, you
have.
you would have seen one in
At
the
NMR.
National Rail
Yeah.
News. Yeah.
Actually, I can't call it NMR anymore, can we? Changed their name.
Yes. Very true.
Yeah, it's quite interesting going into the museum because only about half of it's open at the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of work's going on.
They've taken some of the machines and put them in Bury, and they've taken some of the machines and put them in Shilton.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, it's still some good stuff in there. So I think you probably would have seen Scotsman in there. I think.
I did.
York.
That's the second
You
time
did?
I've seen Scotsman because it was in Australia in 1988.
Ah.
We were the nasty
I
people.
bet
that
it's
wanted to
weird
cut
seeing it
cut
there,
out.
isn't it? Yeah.
Fortunately, it got hidden away from the people that wanted to cut it up and it got rescued, so that's a good news story. And that's happened twice in its life.
It's had a very
It
checkered
has.
history. I remember it got stuck in America because they couldn't afford to bring it back, and I think the owners got bust or something like that.
They
and
did,
it got
yeah.
stuck in America
Yeah.
for a while. Till, I think it was McAlpine who brought it back, if I remember rightly.
It was indeed. Yeah.
Just saw someone in the chat who was with me when I was at Scotsman actually. Hi, Reggie.
Oh, brilliant. So have you met any other ambassadors while you were around as well?
Oh, I met Joe, British Ace, early in the piece.
Brilliant.
That's the only ambassador, but I've met some other players, some of the people that
Fantastic.
follow my streams. I think the first route that I really got into was the second route we're going to play tonight, which is the Sacramento Northern.
Yeah.
I can guess why it rings true with me. It's the only route that's anywhere near a home route to me because I lived in the San Francisco Bay Area for a few years, and the route that it takes today, that's barred.
Well, it's quite interesting because both of you have both lived in America at some point as well. That's quite interesting. I thought you did, didn't you?
I lived in Australia for a bit.
Isn't that weird?
Ah.
He collected an American though.
Yeah, I collected an American, yeah. I keep her at home now.
Yeah.
No, I threatened to live in the States for a bit, and the US government suggested that I probably should be better off staying here.
They're a bit mean that way, aren't they?
Well, no, it was more about here's a load of paperwork, and I was like, oh, that's too much like hard work.
Yeah, I had the enjoyable experience of being sent there by my company, and they hadn't bothered doing the paperwork, so I was there on a waiver. That went fine 3 times, and then the 4th time they went, yeah, no, go home.
I've just flown all the way here. No, go home.
I think we ended up being let into the country for 10 days because we had a cat.
Ah. Yes.
Then we had to go home and sort the visas out properly and come back again. And then spent 2
Yeah.
years there.
Oh, brilliant.
And that was all railway and transit related, doing fare systems.
Yeah.
We're going to have a crack at a Colonel Cam, I think.
No, I'm no good at Colonel Cam.
Yeah, Victory Works, Falmouth branch is a good one, definitely. Yeah, I love that. When you have the pannier and that on there, that's brilliant.
That's the one with the docks, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, they're particularly nicely done down at the docks when you see all the boats and things in there. And it's interesting when you do some scenarios it's full of boats and other scenarios there's only 1 or 2, so it's all programmatically driven. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's very neat, that one. There's a lot of really cool innovations in that. I think one of my favourite moments on the Sacramento is going over the bridge.
Yeah.
It's always amazing what the people involved in this game have managed to make it do, what they can squeeze out of the engine.
Yeah. Well, look at Smokebox's Big Boy. I mean, it never.
That thing is,
It is, yeah. You know, and to think that when you play it, and the New Zealand locos as well, some of those are just incredible.
Yeah, they're the nearest to a home railway for me.
Yeah.
Driving the JA and the KB, I quite enjoy those.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I've killed the KB probably more times than I wish to admit.
Oh, Tintin says West Coast Main 9 over Shap still the go-to. Yeah, honestly, if Jamie had picked something like a Swiss add-on or something like that to do, then I would have been all over Shap and some 87 action because I love that road.
The other one for me is Wherry Lines. It's another great one.
We're going to have to think about the most embarrassing ones for us personally. Myself was Woodhead. I can't make the train move.
And 76 is an interesting train.
Yeah.
It does take a bit of practice, but I do enjoy it once you get the hang of it.
Yeah, I think on that day I spent the first about 40 minutes of the stream trying to make it move, and I gave up and played Train Sim World instead.
Ouch. Baked Bean Kid says Falmouth branch. Yeah, Falmouth branch is good fun. It's good fun. There's some good shunting as well to be had, Baked Bean Kid. I'm sure you're a big fan. Victory Works Steam Rail. I love that Steam Rail motor. No lie, I've love that, and the 14X. Well, so VictoryWorks, the author of those. The thing I like about them is all the Bell communication stuff that we use. Is so much fun to drive. It takes a bit to get used to how it works, but it's so much fun to drive. It's so different, as well as being visually stunning, of course.
I think Big
Yeah.
Kid just
Yeah.
confirmed he likes shunting.
He does like shunting, yeah. I know, it's a secret shunting fan.
Just give him a quiet little shunting puzzle and he'd be really happy.
Yeah, yeah. We need to. That would be quite fun because we did do one of the notable things was the challenge that was done, the route building challenge. As well, that was quite a big thing that was done a few years ago.
Talk to me
So
about
there
that,
was
I
a
can't
route
remember that.
That was it was the Train Simulator Classic or Train Simulator route building challenge, and it was like everybody had to build a route, and then ended up being made as a release. Is that the, I'm thinking of something?
It's interesting. I don't even remember that. There you go, see, it's not all.
I can't remember what it was called, but chat probably remembers what it was. But it was like there was a route that did win.
No, see, Forum Peninsula was different, VictoryWorks. That was a weekend project back in RailSimulator.com days, where Derek and a bunch of people in the company got together, working with some externals as well, actually, that full support all over the community, and they spent I think 24 hours consecutively in one go making a fictional route called Forum Peninsula. And it had all sorts on it. It had like a Glasgow tram on it. It had a USA tank on it. It had all sorts of different things on it. A bunch of scenarios, and then it went out as a charity release. It had a narrow gauge train on it as well. There was all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And for a while, Derek did a shunt. That was it. Derek did the 06, something like that.
I think it was the 03 or 04 maybe, and then
No,
I can't
it
remember.
was 04, I think, was done by Uvi for something else for their route, the mining one, the quarry ones one. Derek did the little did a shot to slide in the S100. But then there was Glasgow tram, there was balloon tram, there was all sorts of stuff in there. It was really cool, really interesting exercise.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking of. But yeah.
I mean, long time ago, the website I ran did 2 route building challenges, and the winner, I think, of one of those route building challenges, later on he went on to carry on and build that route, and it became what you all here will know as Western Knights of Scotland. So he built the first section of that route around the Dumfries area, I think, the Port Road. And then later on came back and added that and made it a full release of Western Knights of Scotland. And then there was another release by another member of the community at the time, who obviously worked for Dovetail now for a very long time. And he built a route around the Nottingham Coal Yards, which was another entry to the route building challenge. And that ultimately, many years later, got reworked and built into a full route by Rob himself as well. So it was and the team actually who took basically they worked together. It's quite incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing the sort of the size of the community as well. Like, how many third parties have sprung up since Train Simulator Classic or Train Simulator, Railworks, and how many different local. I would love to know. I wonder if anybody's figured this out of how many locomotives there are in Train Simulator. If you've got everything, like all the things that Dovetail got, everything, all the third parties, everybody's made and put them all together. I wonder how big that number would be.
Could be a pretty
I
serious
wonder if
number.
someone's. It probably would be.
Oh,
It would be.
It's just amazing amount of content.
Yeah. Yes, agreed, Tintin. Yes, it's been community. All you people in the chat, you've made Train Simulator as well. So it's your game and our game all together.
Has everyone figured out yet why I keep jumping to the back of the train accident every time I go to an outside view?
I haven't.
No, it's because back of the train is the 3 key,
Ah, yes.
and it's an exterior camera. TSW.
You get used to these things, and then
At
you
least
get-
I've not tried to get out of the chair yet. You know, I need some credit here. The last time I
Press the E
last
key.
time I played TSW, I spent nothing but pressing the E key trying to get out of the chair, and it got really frustrating.
I suppose that's the big difference between the two games, isn't it? In one of them, in TSC, you are the train, and in TSW, you're the train driver.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And Danny's in the chat as well. I think Danny is around, isn't he?
Danny's
as well?
more than
So-
in the chat.
Hang on.
There he is!
Danny's over here as well. he's busily working away in the on the side there.
So yes, we're all here tonight.
I actually think he's given up trying to work while the screen's up.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. We are making a lot of noise, being very very distracting.
Yeah, I think we're probably a bit annoying.
Sorry, Danny.
It's fine. At this time of night, you shouldn't be working anyway. You should have fun. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Oh, you're going all no auto 5 in there. Look at that.
Damn it. Trying to get
I'll start doing it next. Although, with me at least, with the interurban rail car, it's not so far to go.
Oh, the Saint's lovely, isn't it, George the Railway Enthusiast? Pete, remind me, the Saint, is that the one that came with the mail train as well?
Yes. It's
I loved that. That was so cool.
Yeah.
It's a little bit float too.
Can't remember now. It's been a while.
That's the milk float we drove on the stream.
Oh,
We did
sorry, the
that,
milk
didn't
float.
you?
Yes, that one's on Portsmouth Direct line.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a boat, I think, on one of the Japanese routes or Chinese routes, isn't there? You can drive as well. There's another big boat. I can't remember which one that is.
That's the little pump car.
Ah, the free pump car. Yes, that was awesome. That was good fun. That was.
So I helped.
I think it was one of the
as part
races.
of the project originally that developed the pump car. So the art team, obviously, competent art people made the actual art for the pump car. But originally, I did all the scripting for it. And it was too hard and broke people's keyboards, so they had to die down. So sorry for this. If you ever played games like, because I grew up playing Hypersports and Tony Thompson's Decathlon, okay, which were, the keyboard destroyers of the day, where you smash the heck out of two of your keys. And I set it up so that actually to get I did some little interesting. I made a little custom route with some little challenges where you had to get the pump car up a hill, and honestly, it was tiring by the time you got to the top of the hill. And I was just like, this feels like the right level of challenge to me. And everyone said it was too hard, so it got made. You can almost fall asleep driving it, but it's really good fun to drive. It's really interesting. I've seen some fun screenshots of people coupling it up to the strangest things as well.
Yeah, and trying to pull everything. Yeah. Right, shall we swap? I think that seems about right.
Let's do a run by and then we'll swap. Maybe we'll do a run by and we'll be better at doing a run by than doing that. It wasn't the only, Danny. It wasn't actually the biggest thing that annoyed people that I did. That got changed. The bashing of the keyboard was one thing, but I don't know if you guys remember the which one was it? The Game of Gnomes.
Yes.
Game of Gnomes.
Yeah.
So I did some of the scripting for the gameplay elements of Game of Gnomes, and in the early prototype of it, when I was messing around just seeing if you could do things, I had it to where you went round a circuit and you picked up these giant gold rings, and every time you hit one of these giant gold rings, it went ding. And of course it was only coming out of my headphones, but it was really loud. So of course I was doing this test, giggling away at my train, going ding, ding, ding through these things, and eventually everyone came around my desk and was like, "Please make it stop."
So what you mean is there's a predecessor to JD. Someone else had the bells.
Yeah, it was good fun. It was good fun. That was really fun actually, figuring out that scripting. Okay, what were we doing? Oh, you're doing next one, aren't you?
There's a guy in the chat,
Sacramento?
Sheriff RJ. I saw your original message about the things that were happening to you. I've had that happen to me. Support helped me sort it out, so I would suggest getting onto them because I'll be able to help you.
Right, you were going to do. Is that one you want to do?
I think so. That looks good.
In that case, let us change seats.
Fortunately, you're wireless.
Magic.
It's lucky Matt's wireless, so
I'm
that
the
would have been
voice in the
difficult. All right, now I've got to try and remember the keys because I normally drive this with Raildriver. So we should probably start that one. So the route we're on, Sacramento Northern, as it loads up, it runs along today what essentially is BART, and if you're familiar with the Bay Area, the bus network AZ Transit, which was the original key system. Matt, your mouse is very hyperactive. That's better. It suits an old slow bloke like me. Alright, so we're just waiting on a red signal here, so I could read out the text, but that's never very exciting, so we'll just close it so the signal timer actually starts. We're going to see, that looks like the front, so we're going to be going at 1344, that's when we get there at least. So this is what we're driving, a little green interurban, and you can probably hear behind us what we're actually waiting for. No, it tricked me. Let's have a look around this way. They should be coming. Yeah, here comes one of them. So that's a key system. I'm going to call it a tram, because, you know, I'm sitting in England. If anybody in America gets mad at me because I didn't call it a trolley, I'm sorry. And I think there'll be another one coming the other way. Yeah, there it is. So we should get our green signal, and this is where I have to try and remember the keys. This could be funny.
If you press F3, you can get your HUD up so you can see what you're doing.
Who needs a HUD?
Me. A lot.
Alright, so that's applying. There we go, that's released the brakes, good. We might need forward zone, mightn't we? That's that one, isn't it? There we go. Is that going to work? Maybe? Go on. No, it's not. Have I got the independent brake released? No, they're all released. Come on, be nice to me, game. It worked for Matt.
It did.
Mere moments ago.
Stick the HUD on, let's see what it says going on.
Yeah, we might have to. Right now it says nothing.
No, it says it's in
The
emergency.
brakes are fully
you've
on.
applied the brakes.
Oh!
Semicolon is what you're looking for.
I can't read the gauges. So the challenge I have with these glasses is they have this fine sliver. So they're really good for walking around and working on trains and things. But they're horrible for using a computer screen. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it.
I'm making a note of that excuse.
You use that excuse for later.
Oh yeah. Just after this scenario, probably.
Now on this run we're doing some street running, so we'll be sharing the road with some cars. And they do occasionally just drive straight through you, but you know, you don't worry about that too much.
Being overtaken there, look.
I know. I'm only allowed to. Well, I'm allowed to do 25 now. Let's get a bit more going on. Not too much though. Matt and I were talking about the signals before, because all these signals come up on the HUD, but they're not really there. They're the
Didn't
traffic
stop it
lights.
spadding me earlier, though, did it?
No, it didn't.
Oh dear.
There is one real
It's all
one.
coming out now.
Yeah, there is one real one which I actually thought was at these buildings coming up, but it turned out not to be, and Matt just gave me the look. That should be enough. Oh, I'm losing points. Terrible. I normally turn points off because it annoys me to behave myself.
I should do that then, shouldn't I? I should turn the points off. I didn't think about that.
And I just realised this is a self-lapping brake too, so that makes it easier. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually a real-life engineman. I'm a fireman on a railway. I won't mention it because I'll probably get in trouble. But when I'm allowed to drive, I particularly enjoy driving the locos with the self-lapping brake, because when you're heading down to 1 in 30 grade, you just put it into first application and that's good enough. I think we're
Brilliant.
catching up with something else. I probably shouldn't run into the back of it, should I?
Probably should try not to. Don't do what I do.
So
Rapid unscheduled coupling.
there's probably a railway term for that, but it's probably rude.
Most railway terms are in one way or another.
Yes, this is very true.
Railwaymen be railwaymen.
Actually, the last driver I was out with is still officially a railwayman, but he's also a railway woman. Actually, it's that scenario. We're not supposed to stop here. It's okay. I was pulling into the stop and I'm looking at it's a go via. Stop it. Oh, this is the bit we almost invariably run into cars.
Yeah.
So let's go on the outside so we can see it happen.
Interestingly, I'm on the footplate on Friday, so
Awesome.
Medway Gaming Festival is this coming weekend, so if any of you
Yes,
are
it is.
in Chatham area, then Dovetail will be at Medway Gaming Festival, given that it's just over there. And
Speaking of red signals.
see, that would be a red light. You should stop there.
Yeah. Maybe because there's a tram in front of me.
Yeah, if you're going to be in the area, then Medway Gaming Festival is this coming weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I'll be at the stand on the Sunday, but other people will be there on the Saturday. So do come along and say hello. And if you've not been there before, but you are in the area, it's definitely a really good event. There's lots of really good stuff going on.
You know, you're making me even sadder that I'm going home tomorrow.
Oh, no.
I didn't time that very well, did I? Now these traffic
yeah,
lights.
long trip back for you tomorrow, isn't it? You should think.
Yeah, it is a bit. Actually, it's the day after. It's not tomorrow. Oh, what?
See?
Oh dear. Well, you know how we wanted to do quick scenarios? I guess it's your turn.
Nah, pick another one. Pick another one.
We're going to do the brave thing and just go straight back into something. Let's grab one of the little steeple cabs. We'll do the walnuts one. So this line ran freight and passenger.
I love them steeple cabs. There's something about them. They're an interesting design.
I've always liked watching these scripted video intros the first time you play a scenario. Oh, Baked Bean Kid, I think we have to do some shunting.
Oh, good choice.
We'll wait for instructions though. Swap empty box cars for full ones at Walnut Creek. After that, we'll take the full cars to Minot to wait for the evening through freight, reversing couples of the string of empty box cars that we were assigned to deliver to Walnut Creek. Better look behind me, I guess. In fact, I wonder what are those points set to? We're working between scheduled passenger runs. Good-o. Those
Red
points are
lights then,
fine.
basically, yeah.
Oh, possibly. There we go. I managed to get it into backwards. And released. That's right, it does have a horn. And a bell. JD mode engaged. I better slow down or I'm going to knock these things somewhere very bad.
They'll just end up in the countryside.
They will. At least it's not a river.
Sorry?
At least it's not a river.
No. They're only fish fans. These aren't fish fans.
These are fish fans. Yes,
I was
because
setting
you're
the fish free, dang it.
He was.
This remains my excuse and I remain sticking to it.
Free Willy. There we go. I think we're good. And back into forwards. Might help if I change the angle just a little bit though, so I can see where we're going.
Yes, because your sort of nicknames, Matt, have come from Train Simulator, haven't they,
I
as
have,
well?
oh yeah, from my checkered streaming history, and lots of high quality driving, which has been consistently, at the same level throughout my entire time, and definitely nothing to brag about.
No, I know there's a. I've stopped right where I can't see the signal, so that's pretty clever. It's already set the switch. Yeah, it tells me to do it. It's already done it. So we'll just assume the signal's green, right? I think.
Yeah.
Let's go. How bad could it get? Oh, hang on, this is America. Oh dear. It's alright. This is for Baked Bean Kids to do some more shunting. Jamie, please don't die.
Sorry, I'm not dying. I'm laughing. Sorry.
So we're calling you Train Simulator Spada now.
I think so. That's going to stick, isn't it?
That's what I'm hoping.
Oh, there it is. Look at the tiny thing.
On the floor there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Victory said it works. He said press tab next time.
That would be cheating, though, wouldn't it? Alright. Let's set the one behind us, which we don't actually have to. It's fine this time. Now let's see if I can manage to get more than about 5 meters without destroying the universe. We're just going to go blind this time.
Nigel, this is the Sacramento Northern.
It is indeed. Or as it is called today, BART. It's not quite the same track, but it's close.
Somewhat different trains too.
Slightly. Yeah, those ones are automatic and they don't run through red signals.
Oh, so what we're saying is they're no fun.
Yeah, exactly. I saw someone once wanting to get BART implemented into the game, and better fix those points too, hadn't I? And while we're at it, we can check the next ones, and this time I won't go through the signal. Honest. I'll try not to anyway. Jamie's sitting there going, why would they let me drive? I can do so much better than these two clowns.
Well, I did think to myself, I thought, if everything went wrong, because we were planning this quite later on, weren't we? Don't forget the signal, don't forget the little signal. Keep an eye on the little signal.
Yeah, it's there somewhere. It's behind the dialogue box.
You see where that,
Yeah, it's down.
if you press
Oh,
A,
yes,
you'll be
there
able
it
to see
is.
it.
Just down there.
Stealth signal.
Right.
Sneaky little thing. It's hiding in the grass.
Bad guy, I don't need to teach Paul spadding tricks. He comes with his own set of skills.
I have. I think I've proven that quite adequately, actually.
Hello, flashing red on that side.
Let's see if it's done anything with the points. So that one's right, and that one's right. Should be good.
Ah, that's why. There we are.
It's green there. It's not green for us, though. I might try that standard Train Simulator trick. Ha.
Ta-da!
See, it looked fine on the map. It just wasn't.
This is definitely going to go well.
Clearly. Come on, release the rest of the way. Off we go. Can we go? Please? Go on. How about now?
The train knows it shouldn't go, really, so it's...
And I'm not going to honk 4 times. We'll just say this was before 14L came out. If people aren't familiar with 14L, it's one of the rules in US railroading. Actually, interestingly, this is actually called a railway.
Railway comes up a lot in America, actually.
It does.
A BNSF railway. So it's not even an old thing.
Yeah.
You know, even the BNSF call themselves a railway.
And I have to remember the speed limits on this route actually mean it. Because if it says go around the corner at 35 and you go around at 36, you'll be on your side. I'm glad you put a ticket in, Sheriff.
Wasted, yeah, we're in the UK. Paul's actually on holiday from Australia, and so we decided we'd make him do some streaming, you know.
Yeah, slave labour.
Yep. Paul didn't run away fast enough, so we put him to work. I thought I'd just come and say hello. Suddenly you got me working. What's going on?
Yeah, don't tell immigration. It's actually okay. I was mentioning to Matt earlier that I discovered that England simply believes that Australia is still a colony because I just walked in. No one cared. And what are they going to do if I do something bad? Send me to the colonies?
Might make you stay.
They might.
Yeah.
Alright though. It's kind of fun here. They could end up sending me to a different colony. That would be challenging.
They might send you the opposite direction. They might send you to America.
Nah, I've been there before. So whoever it was before who was saying there's nothing new in the update, the 4 key works again. See? Definitely new things in the update.
Yeah, there's a huge list. I mean, if you haven't seen the list already, there's all sorts in there.
There are. There's so many bug fixes, and there are quite a few performance changes.
I know that Steve, who's been looking after this, has been working quite hard with everybody involved to get it to where it is. There's been a lot of work involved, so it's good to see it out.
Yeah, I know. Emergency brakes. But I have to stop before the shelter goes a bit balmy.
Ta-da. And stop.
It'll work. I should move your mouse around here. It'd be so much easier, wouldn't it?
That's how I stop trains normally.
Oh, with emergency brakes. Are we
What they're
leaving?
for, isn't
Are we leaving them all here? I didn't actually quite get there, even with emergency brakes. Look at that. Hang on.
If you press F1, hopefully it'll tell you. There you go.
It should be at 0 now. Or have I gone past it? Yeah. It still wants me to go a little bit further though. Just a little bit further.
There it is.
That's what I thought on my walk the other day when it was raining. I was going, it's just a little bit further. And I think it wants... That looks like all of them to me, so we'll just...
It's the worst that could happen, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Centre player, I think. There we go.
Good plan. And we're going to have to go into the freight depot over here, but I think we also have to pick up those, so... Yeah, it wants us to stop over there, so set those points. It's so hard to tell in these glasses, but I think it looks alright. Yeah, sorry lady, I know I'm holding up your train. You can get in the boxcar if you want. No one will mind.
Oh, that was all that's close. Oh.
Is that point right?
The points were alright. Nothing bad could happen.
Which is why I want some horn.
We got red
Great
in front
signal,
of it.
eh? We do. Although I think it wanted me to go up to the signal, but that's alright. This is going to work well enough.
It's fine. I normally stop about 3 miles away from the red signal. Nothing bad happens usually.
And I'm just guessing here, but I think we want to go up there. Set the switch behind us and pick up 2 filled boxcars. Anybody'd think I'd played this scenario before. Except, it would help if I went the other way, wouldn't it?
I don't want to judge.
But you will.
I force myself to, though.
So we try and run over a car. No? No one? Oh well. Welcome to Walnut Creek, folks.
Back in the days where there was no platforms and they literally just used to stand on the ballast waiting for their train.
It's a good way to do it.
It was, yeah.
Filled boxcars from siding 2. Wrong key.
We have to change all the points again, I imagine.
Now, the ones in front of us should probably be okay, but I've got to be careful of that signal.
Yeah,
so
that
those
needs
ones are
changing.
okay.
Needs changing.
Needs changing,
There we
and
go.
the
Do
next
the
set.
next one. That's it.
Yeah,
You're good.
you're good now.
And we're going to end up going around there, so... Wait, going backwards again.
So here's a question for chat. What's your favourite memory of Train Simulator Classic? Or, you know, over the 15 years, what's been your most favourite memory or favourite stream we've done? That's
Apart
another
from
one
me
as well.
spatting twice. That's not allowed. That's not a good memory.
All right, I'll come up with another one then.
It's only a matter of time.
Sorry.
We just heard a voice in the background
There
there.
was a voice, I have no idea what that person said. I want to give Danny full props though, because Danny made it to where there was, on Steam Workshop, we were all able to do silly things with really long routes. Like driving from Brighton to Bedford in one go. That was ridiculous. Ridiculously good, that is. Like somewhat the
Change
king
that
of the
point
route
there.
badges.
There you go, you're good.
Sorry.
Lovely. It's very handy to have a set of eyes that can actually see what I'm doing. Thanks, Jamie.
That's all right.
It's a good thing we're able to share the screen, wouldn't it? We'd all be sitting here for 20 seconds waiting for Jamie to go change the points.
Change the points. I'm the signalman.
There's always shifty characters hanging around here doing strange things. Just, that guy's down there staring at a wall.
Yeah.
It's watching the paint dry.
It's fair. I've had jobs like that.
So 2 have said Nebworth. Someone said driving an A3 on train guy said driving the A3 on Marseille to Avignon. That's quite fun.
Nice.
British Aces said playing East Coast Main Line South on Boxing Day in 2014. Yeah, I wonder how many people have played Train Simulator on Christmas Day or Boxing Day. Or New Year's Eve, you know, has anybody done like one of the New Year's Eve scenarios, maybe in doing it so it times exactly or things like that? I know people who drive trains on the train, that's another one.
I think these are heavy. I thought about doing that. And then I thought about the terrorism settings around the world and thought, if someone watched me driving the train from a laptop on the train, I'd probably end up explaining myself to somebody. Probably while lying on the floor with someone on my back.
one of my friends was on a train, and they were doing exactly that. They were on a Pendolino, I think it was, and they were driving the route on the Pendolino, on the train, on their laptop, just as a sort of an interesting exercise to, drive and follow the route and do what the driver was doing. And the little old lady sitting next to him got increasingly more concerned, and then eventually leaned over and said, "Shouldn't you be up front?"
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I just know it's going to make Baked Bean Kid's day in a moment. Because wait,
He's
there's more
loving
shunting.
This. He is loving this. This has just been amazing. I can tell you that now.
We can't have a stream without shunting in, you see. It has to be baked bean special, you see.
There you go. Just for the people who wanted 4. It's not the most impressive horn in the world, though.
I'm crying my eyes out calling my therapist.
It's alright, I keep waiting for this counter to drop. It will eventually. At least I'm hoping it will. Because I would have thought it'd really want me to put him back there somewhere. It does, see?
It's not what the instructions said when you pop up, to be fair.
No, the instructions said go out in the main line, so we did.
Went all the way down the main line.
We did indeed. Alright, we better go and find out what we're supposed to do. So we're going to put it all the way up there. Alright, let's change them. Does it want me to couple? No. Okay, good. I shall continue to pretend I know what I'm doing. What you should be really worried about is I run real trains.
Same with me as well.
But the good news with those is I start in the same place and I end up in the same place every single time. And it's me that makes the fire. I'm only driving when the driver gets bored.
Yeah.
Do they do the same thing here, Jamie? You get sent away from the loco to get something by the driver and you come back and your teacup's on the driver's side?
No, so how we do it, because I'm cleaner, so third man. So when you do third man, they'll sometimes let you drive back to shed. And you do have to learn how to control a locomotive just in case if the crew were knocked out. So say you were the only one, say there was an incident and you were playing with steam or something that knocked the driver and fireman out, you need to be able to stop the train or actually drive the locomotive. So as part of the sort of training module almost for it.
Yeah, it's kind of important to be able to do that.
Yeah. But what we will do is the fireman will drive and the driver will teach the cleaner how to fire. So that's what they do, which is third man.
I remember just in time that flashing signals mean stop and go.
So, but yes, but I have driven. I think I counted the other day. I think I've driven about 30 locomotives all in total, pretty much.
Control tab, is it? Or backwards?
Denied. Oh well, we might have to just move on to the next one then, because I think I went too far.
Was it control tab or is it shift tab for backwards? Control tab. No, it's not shift tab.
No. No, that took us out.
Shall we move on to
Shift
the
tab
next
again.
route then?
Shift tab again.
We're sitting in Steam now. Now we'll just click on it. That'll be much easier. That didn't work. Back to game. Heck.
So control tab. Okay.
No.
No. Well, let's just try it and see what it does.
Just add one more notch to the SPAD chart.
Yeah.
Yep. Gotta
You'll have to have a
people something
SPAD
to-
counter on your channel now.
Oh, it's already in the hundreds. So we'll just sneak up on it and it'll be fine.
Nothing to notice here. Oh, there we are.
Alright, Matt's turn.
Hey, there we go.
Right.
Look at all those points. Yeah, that's a good point. We have to go this way, don't we?
We do.
Otherwise, I'm going to drag your computer off into the distance.
You
The
can have it.
PC shuffled.
Right. Career.
I'm going to blame this guy. It's his fault.
So up to the camera.
Mini me.
Oh, look at that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, go on.
And here's Sooty.
For an unscheduled, unlicensed appearance. Right.
It's all right. Looking over at Danny's desk, there's an awful lot of things that could make unlicensed appearances. Unfortunately,
There's a
he's
page
eating the
button
rope
here.
banana.
I'm trying to work out how I got to the Wakayama, but there's a page button, not a scroll button. Right, what did I run earlier on? It was probably that one? Yeah, that one will do. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Nothing's gone wrong so far.
Yeah.
It's been flawless. You've simply
Absolutely
just
flawless.
redefined the definition of flaw. Right, put it in forwards, get the doors open. We're stuck here for 4 minutes, so there's a limited amount I can get wrong in that time.
And I've managed to hit my chair down, Leo.
Well, as we're here
I
for
suddenly
4
got
minutes,
shorter.
I can go through all the information again, can't I?
Go for
So-
it.
Yeah, so if you haven't already, we have got the music video, which is from the fantastic music from Ben. There's also been clips. The music video has clips from the launch trailers from the past 15 years. I will put in the Spotify link here as well, so you can. There we are. There is the Spotify link. So, what else is there? So you got the free Chatham mainline. If you have a look on in the sale bit in Steam, you can download the Chatham mainline for free for this week. And that ends on Monday, so make sure you get it if you haven't already. We also have an anniversary sale, which there's 3 routes that have actually got 80% off. So the 80% routes are Birmingham Cross City, Hamburg S1 S-Bahn, and San Francisco Gilroy. There's also some other locos like the BR Castle class. They got 50% off. The CSX NR E3GS 21B genset. That's a mouthful. For example. And there's also a competition. So if you haven't got Train Simulator Classic and you like what you see, you can get Train Simulator Classic there, and there is the link for the competition. And if you would like some entries as well, if you enter this code, you will get some extra entries as well. So 15 years of TSC. There we go. Sorry, there is my admin-y bit.
Some good opportunities there, Jamie.
Yep. Yeah, so, but yes, and also, we'd love to hear your stories as well of what Train Simulator Classic means to you. Make videos, post anything you would like and share them with us, because we'd love to hear some of your stories of the past sort of 15 years and sort of memorable moments for you. I think there's some amazing creators out there and some amazing stories that people have had over the years. And Matt's looking at all the buttons.
Fiddling.
He's fiddling.
The train left me alone unattended with switches to play with. My favourite T-shirt is, "In my defence, I was left unattended."
Yeah. Sheriff, the code should be where it says watch our 15th anniversary stream for more, and it should give you the key there. So it says watch our anniversary stream for more, and then it'll ask you to put that key in, and then you can put it in there. Richie Rowell, well, I'm not sure when TSW's anniversary is. Do you know, Matt, when TSW's
Well, not long
anniversary?
ago, I had the 5th,
Yeah,
so it'll be a little while before 10.
yeah. And we're off. So, Matt, why did you decide this route? What made this route
So
interesting
this was
for you?
the first Japanese route, I think. I mean, someone mentioned earlier in the chat, was it not the story of Forest Rail? It's kind of fictional route. It's actually based on an anime that I can't remember the name of. But no, this was the first sort of realistic rendition of a Japanese route. So it's kind of iconic in that respect. It was also, I always just really enjoy running it. It's quite nice to drive trains. The route is really pretty. Union Workshop always have a really interesting visual style that so you look at any route and you can tell if it's a Union Workshop route or not. So I really like that. But also just it's it's quite operationally interesting as well, because you've got this whole scissor junction thing going on here, for which I think is the next thing that's happening actually. Which is quite interesting. So it's an interesting route to drive. It's a nice route to look at, but also kind of a landmark, to be honest.
Yeah,
And you've got the classic Japanese crossings. Only they sound like that.
Yeah.
that is very true. That is very true.
And also the bing bongs as you come into a red light, because of their safety system.
Don't forget, Matt, you got to point at every signal as well.
With your white gloves on.
Yes.
With my white gloves on, yeah, absolutely.
And every time you're going to leave the station, you have to point at your wristwatch, and then point back at the guard at the back, and then point at the signal, and then the timetable, and then you can go. And of course, by then you're
Yeah.
late.
We'll all have to get white gloves now, won't we? Do that. I'm gonna have to do that.
I've got a CSX engineer's cap at home.
Oh, brilliant. Have you partaken in any purchases, Paul, from your travels? Have you found anything like that has made you very interested in bringing something home from the UK?
I brought home a shovel.
Ah,
I should have
brilliant.
brought it here. I picked up a firing shovel. Basically, the shovels themselves are about £50 to buy for a really good
Yeah.
locomotive firing shovel. But to ship it to Australia is £300.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I picked it up here and I've been carrying it around. And I'm amazed that no one has yet picked on me for carrying around this box that basically looks like I've got a bazooka. The only people that asked about it were the people at the National Rail Museum, because they wanted to know it was in the box, and I said it was a shovel, and they just sort of looked at me really strangely. It's the one place I would have expected not to be pulled up for having a firing shovel.
Yeah, well, you see that they probably thought that you might fire up one of their locos. They might have been a bit scared, but they.
Yeah, true. I might have put spots on it. They're very shiny in there.
They are. I must admit, they are kept very, very spotless. They are lovely.
That was actually one of the things that really struck me about Tullathine is the locomotives are just beautiful.
They are, aren't they?
And
Yes.
they spend so much attention on that every morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
It's one of the things. I think it's something that I've noticed that sort of very much with British locos of how much, or certainly European locos, some of the Swiss locos I've seen, they're absolutely spotless. Looks like they've never run in their life sometimes, and it's quite amazing how they clean them.
Yeah, I think my first
I know
test,
because I do it and it takes ages.
my first test on whether I was going to be allowed to fire Dolgok or not was to clean the brass. and that had to be satisfactory.
Yeah,
The driver wanted to see his face in it.
yeah. That's the way it's got to be.
Hmm. It's been a while since I've cleaned the brass because, you know, that's what the cleaners do.
Yeah.
So we should talk about these terms actually, if people aren't familiar with them. Normally, when
Yes,
you're
that's very true.
when you're getting into working the shed, you start out as a cleaner, which is what Jamie's doing, and from cleaning you start transitioning into firing, and then once you've qualified as a fireman, you start transitioning into driver. But as Jamie's discussed, all the way through that, from cleaning onwards, you'll always get a chance to actually operate the locomotive.
Yeah, yeah. And
most-
every railway is different as well. You know,
are
every
indeed.
railway will have their own training system as well.
Yeah, they do. Fortunately, some of them we have arrangements where we accept each other's qualifications, and you can operate with supervision. And once you've got the local knowledge,
Yeah,
you'll be able to go out on your own. And if you're travelling, it's always worth contacting the railway in advance and letting them know that you are a volunteer on another railway.
yeah, definitely. We even have a pass here in the UK that you can buy. That it allows you, when you volunteer, you buy the pass, and the pass allows you to go to different railways. Which is a really good idea.
I don't know if you know or not, but it's valid on mine.
Oh, really? Ah,
I'll tell you which railway it is later because they're a bit finicky about social media.
no, that's fine. We just need to get Matt on the shovel, don't we, eh?
That'd be awesome.
Wait,
Matt-
you
Matt
mean
would-
to use the shovel, right? Just to be clear.
Not as fuel, no, Matt.
I mean, we used to have people as fuel in our HSTs, so in the game. So just to be clear.
Yeah, it's actually interesting because, you know, since I've come here, I've got hair on my arms again.
It's because it's so cold here.
Or firing a little locos, it tends to burn it off.
Oh, yes, very true. Yeah.
Yeah, the cab's not going to
Yeah.
smell good when I go on my next run. You're not quite used to your new toy there, are you, Jamie?
What's that?
The mustache.
No, not quite. No, it's quite funny because it's for those in chat, you might not have seen it. You may have seen it that I've
Well, they
grown
can't
the
see
mustache.
you.
No, I know they can't see me, but yeah, it tickles sometimes. And you're like, what the hell is that? And you're like, oh, hang on a minute.
Good catch. Good catch.
It's the caterpillar growing under your lip.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
This is that impressive junction, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Londo
you gotta go
Sparks. So
back
the
on
thing
yourself.
with the people as no, so you go up, then you into the siding, then you come back into the station, then you go up. It's kind of like use all four legs of an X essentially. So yeah, Londo, we found that the HST had because when you set fuel up for a train in TSW, there's a drop down box where you say what the fuel is, you know, whether it's coal or diesel or whatever, at some point, Adam was looking over to fix some issues, and he found that somehow or other the fuel drop box had been set to say people, and that's why they couldn't refuel it.
Just a question there. Why is people in the list?
Like, because it's a cargo type. People are fuel, Soylent Green, you know?
It's probably very efficient.
Soylent fuel.
I think we'd have a fairly high calorific content.
Baby and kid, very funny, very funny. I you know, it is quite funny because it is going like the moustache is going a bit of a ginger colour. So make of that what you will. But
There's jokes that come to mind, but this is E for everyone.
Yeah, this is this junction. So you come up here, and you go into the reverse siding. Then you come round from reverse siding into Kitachi, and then you come back out of Kitachi and head up the hill.
interesting. I haven't done that bit before.
and it does reflect real life.
Yeah.
次は吉野口近鉄線はお乗り換えです。
Kizoichi, there you go. Thank you.
And I know this is one of the things that me and Matt have always had in sort of like streams and stuff. But Paul, what's been your favourite food since you've come over as well? What's like your go? What have you been trying, and what's like you'd say to yourself, that's now my go-to British food?
I think the full English breakfast has got a lot going for it.
Nice choice. Nice choice.
And there's been quite a few variations as I've gone around the country of what exactly is in a full English breakfast.
Yes, yes, there will be. Yeah.
And the lady at the B&B I was at yesterday in Yorkshire, she was quite concerned that I called it a full English because no, it's a full Yorkshire.
Yeah, there's it's a full of local areas, because when I used to work in Ireland, and it was a full Irish over there, obviously. So, but I think there are differences. So full Irish had white pudding and black pudding as well, and I think it was a full Yorkshire black pudding.
Yeah, it does.
I must admit, I did like the white pudding in a full Irish.
Yeah, the type of sausage has varied from place to place, and the bacon's varied a little bit. I have to say, the English cooking of bacon, you guys basically warm it up. We burn it.
Not the
until,
way I do it.
we burn it until it's so crisp you can barely eat it.
Fried spam, yes, that's another one. Yeah. Have you had a roast yet as well? A full roast. Sort of
I've
like
had
Yorkshire pudding.
Had a great many roasts in my lifetime, and I think they're probably the same. Yeah, it was
Oh
a
yeah,
thing.
Londo said, "Have you had it cooked on the shovel yet? A breakfast cooked on the shovel? Have you had that
I
yet?"
have, not here, but I have, and it tastes slightly of coal. And
Yeah.
So whenever I cook anything, that's pretty much what it tastes like normally. Yeah.
there you go. See, you can be an engine man.
Yeah.
I agree, Londo. Yes, bacon should be cooked until you're scared for your teeth. We won't mention the brand, but Joe did introduce me to a particular chain of English pubs where the food is cheap and cheerful, as he described.
Ah. Danny.
For such a quiet person, you're pretty funny. Yeah, that's the one, Richie. Jamie's baby wants to know what state I'm from. I'm from Victoria. It's kind of like Chatham. It's the bottom right-hand corner of Australia. Some of the people I bumped into were mean about Chatham.
Okay, but I was just the one time.
To be fair, I only saw strange people at Chillingham. I didn't see any strange people at Chatham.
Wait, you're getting at me again, isn't he?
No, that wasn't you.
You
That
haven't-
was someone else that was strange.
You haven't been up to Norfolk yet, Paul. We're all strange up here, according to Matt, anyway.
Thank you. Suffolk boy, Suffolk represent.
Norfolk's better.
I'm allowed to be wrong.
It's alright, I can't talk. Someone's in the Premier League now and we aren't, so I can't talk.
Yeah. James is from Melbourne as well. Cool. Must be pretty early in the morning there. What is it, about 5 a.m.?
When a train sim stream is on, it doesn't matter.
I have to admit, I have watched them from bed.
Oh, baked bean kid. Oh, come on, that's a bit harsh. Come on. Blimey.
At least it's 3.
Yeah, Melbourne's one place I've not been in. I've been Sydney and I've been Adelaide, and then while I was out there, I had to go and had business in New Zealand. That was quite nice. I did the cable car ride.
One up Mount Wellington.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Yeah, unfortunately, the one day I had the opportunity to go up there, it was kind of like there was we went out there to see Bank of New Zealand, and it was a cloudy day. So of course you go up to the top, and it's like, oh great, I can see the top of the clouds. This is great.
Yeah. Well, you don't normally get to see that,
Yeah.
except when you're flying.
I was going to say, that's how we got to New Zealand, was on an airplane. So like tomorrow morning, I get to see them from the sky from an airplane window. But it's nice running up there because it's one where it's balanced, and then there was the bit in the middle where the cars go past each other, and it's actually commonly used for university, if I remember rightly. The university stop is halfway up.
Yeah, cool. I just realised where I went wrong in my route choice. I picked one with signals.
Yeah, it's much better without signals. No, I think you picked the route that actually has all of the signals.
Yeah, next time I'll wear glasses that can see a computer screen. And anybody who's got progressive glasses will know what I'm talking about, and anybody who's never experienced them, I hope you never have to.
You mean varifocals? Yeah, that's what I've got.
Yeah. They basically mean you can't see your own feet.
Well, I've got a separate reason I can't see my own feet, but that's it's nothing to do with glasses, to be fair.
Oh, Matt. Oh.
I've got to keep, own your problems and not blame them on your glasses,
Yeah, yeah. That is true. That is true.
Now, what I find is it generally means I can't see anything clearly. It's when I first got these things, it's really interesting because you don't realise how much your neck is glued in one direction, and what you actually find when you've got varifocals is you have to find the right bit to look out of. Oh, now I can see everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's really funny when you're talking to other people. Sometimes they think you're being rude because you start doing this, trying to see them because they're close to you.
I mean, that's one of the things with my glasses, because I'm long and short-sighted and sleepy eye as well. So, or lazy eyes they call it, don't they? So I had to have a patch as a kid, patch eye, when I was sort of to strengthen one of my eyes up. So my glasses are like, you give them to somewhere else, and they go, "What on earth is this?" And you go, "Yeah, well, yeah. My eyes aren't just happy."
So from now on, I'm known as Train Sim Spatter, but you're clearly known as Pirate Jamie now. Arr.
Arr.
You're going to have to grow the beard now. You can't be a pirate without having a beard.
Well, yeah, probably. Yeah. Only minus 419 points, Matt.
I know.
That's good.
This is great. It's not like that time I was driving Munich to Garmisch-Partenkirchen in TS Classic, and it was an ICT, I think, and back in those days, back in the day when I did that, I didn't really get the German signalling quite as much. As far as I was concerned, it's like red, yellow, green. Yellow means about to stop, red means kind of try and stop. What I didn't understand was that actually the signals were telling me quite a lot of really useful information about upcoming speeds. So I'm sitting there, and the first leg of that route, you're doing 160 kilometers an hour, top line speed, and then I saw a green yellow, and I was like, well, it probably means that I'll be slowing down soon. Yeah, no. So I went into a 40 kilometer hour speed limit at 160 kilometers an hour, and I think by the time I finished that scenario, I was at minus 150,000 or something like that. Someone will probably provide the link to the stream, to be fair. But it was a good score if you forget the little thing in the front that was a minus sign.
Yeah.
There's this guy with a really great 4-hour PowerPoint on German signalling.
I know. I've tried to watch it. Bores the heck out of me. It's just his voice. I feel like I've heard it somewhere before, and it's too much. There you go, look, Flying Scotsman, right there with the video.
Instantly, look at that!
Flying
Instantly.
Scotsman is there. He's like a walking. They're like a walking in index of my videos. It's amazing. I say, I'm sure I've done this. Boom, link to the video. I'm gonna have to watch it later on, just for the memories.
Danny
Yeah.
is now watching it.
Danny is actually now watching it. Right, excellent. I think that was probably my worst score. I think. Probably enough, though, to be fair.
I don't know what my worst score is, actually, to be perfectly honest. I daren't look.
I turned scoring off for a reason, Jamie.
Yeah. Most of the time I used to just play, before I joined Dovetail, most of the time I just played free roam or quick drive or standard ones. I never used to do the career one.
Yeah, I think for me it's the American routes where you're driving at 12 mile an hour with a couple of hundred cars on the back. No, I'd rather drive at 50. What happens at the bottom of the hill will happen at the bottom of the hill.
What do you mean the brakes haven't worked?
That's fine. No trains actually stop at Londo's at Nebworth, Londo, so it's good. It's fine.
Yeah.
In reality, no trains ever stop there.
No.
It's one of those stations.
As long as you only look at a certain time of the hour, so then you'll not see a stopping train. If you're there at a different point, you might see a stopping train, but then that goes against my argument, so I don't want to go that way.
It was actually interesting on North Yorkshire Moors when I was looking at the Northern timetable and comparing it to North Yorkshire Moors timetable, because North Yorkshire Moors actually goes onto the Northern Main Line. They use it more than Northern do.
They do, yes. Yeah, they do. It's quite funny, that. Yeah. At some points, I just think to themselves they should just own it,
Yeah. I did contemplate catching the Northern train to come back to York, and then I realised I'd have to wait 4.5 hours for one. And if I missed it, the next one was the next day.
Jeez.
That's all right. You could have stopped in the pub. That's fine.
That's true. No, I just ended up getting the bus.
Yeah.
I scared some people in a bus this morning because the little pub I was staying at was on the second floor, and opened up the curtains after having my shower. I was wearing pants, I might add, but no top. And what's right outside the window? Bunch of people in a double-decker bus.
Nice.
Oh, sorry.
I wasn't really expecting that. I don't think they were either.
I think, Matt, it'll be time to move on to British Ace, I think.
Yep.
He hasn't spattered yet.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't, no.
There are
He's been
seconds
driving really
left.
well.
He has driven really well. Where's Matt?
I don't know.
Where have you put him?
We left him outside. Oh dear. Right. Okay. Let me switch over to. Right. You need to waffle for a bit, Jamie.
I will waffle. So what I will do
didn't
is...
get those set up.
Yeah. So what I will do is I will just say, so thank you very much to Matt and thank you very much to Paul for coming into the stream, Paul. It's great to have you on. Hopefully we'll have you on future ones in the future. Would be great. And Danny for his cameo appearance as well, if you can hear me, Danny. So yes, there he is. Give a wave. So there we are. So yes, if you haven't already, have a look at our competition. The link is in there. I will also update all the links for it in there. If you haven't checked out our sale, downloaded the free content, have a look at the music video as well. We did play that at the start as well. So yes, and don't forget celebrate it as well. You know, do your own videos, put some, you know, on the forums, Facebook, Twitter. You know, tell us your story of Train Simulator, what it means to you, yeah, we're excited to hear your stories. Very excited.
Right, all good. Right, over to British Ace then. Thank you very much, folks. We'll catch you on the next one. And a big thank you to Paul. Great job. Just proving up the SPAD function does work in the game. Test passed. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having me and not throwing me out. Yeah.
Definitely not. Definitely not. All right, folks. Enjoy British Ace. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another Train Sim Classic video, and I believe this will also be on the Dovetail Games Train Sim 15th anniversary event, so big thanks to Dovetail Games for giving us another cool opportunity. We're going to be showing off the East Coast Main Line South, and within that we're going to be driving the class 365. This is only the default 365, not the enhanced version, which I would usually drive, but as it is a Dovetail event, we're driving the default one. Right, we are actually good to go, so we'll set that to forward. There we go, and let's get out of here. Let's get on the move, hopefully. There we go, we're off. Yeah, this is part of the 15th anniversary celebrations of Train Sim. Yeah, released all the way back in 2009, which I've only played for 2/3 of that time. I've played since 2014. I've even got my little copy there of TS 2015. I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah, Train Sim 2015, which had this route, the North East Corridor. I think the one to New Haven, and what was it, Munich to heading south out of Munich. Can't remember where that goes, but yeah, the one which goes south out of Munich. So yeah, that was my original copy of TS 2015. Also had Train Sim 2014 as well, but I think we sold that in the end because there was no point having two copies. And that one had like Southeastern High Speed on it. So yeah, I've been playing, Train Sim for, 10 years. And then Train Sim Wild since 2018. A little brake test now. Yeah, all good. Only 4 coaches on this run. So the back of the train should have already passed the marker. There we go, and on to the main line. Hopefully audio levels are all okay. I've put it down to about half, so yeah, hopefully that's alright. There we are, King's Cross via Stevenage. Well, we're already past Stevenage. Can we change that? This won't it? No, I don't think so. That's fine. So we're all stations, so we've got Hatfield, Welham Green, Brookman's Park, Potter's Bar, Hadley Wood, New Barnet, Oakley Park, New Southgate, Alexandra Palace, Hornsey, Haringey, Finsbury Park, and then finally King's Cross. So we've got quite a way to go. Yeah, this was I think the first ever scenario I did on Train Simulator when I first got it. Which yeah, was let's HST. Which yeah, would have been Christmas 2014. And I think alongside that I also got Euro Truck Simulator 2 and World of Subways 3. That was a good Christmas. Right, we're now on the approach to Hatfield. I always got Hadfield. I always get mixed up between the one on Glossop and the one on here. Hatfield. Well, Hatfield we're coming up to. On our Oh, 365 happy train. Proper happy train. Look at the little smile on it. Obviously, when I first got the game, I could not drive it HUDless. That's a bit more recent, that is. In fact, I literally played with the HUD on for basically the first. I never did HUD off until Train Sim World. Right, it's not too far up our stop marker. There's the 3. Where's R4? There it is. Be on the East Coast Main Line South. Yeah, this is Hadfield. Oh, almost sounded like the guy just buzzed us, but I think it was like the door release noise. Next up is Welham Green, which I haven't stopped. I think I've only ever stopped there like once. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Hopefully we don't fly through it. And there we go. Successful stop, train ready to proceed to Welham Green. Let's go. Let's watch it leaving. First Capital Connect. Pre-Thameslink this is. There he goes. Cool, we are off. So we got a name one as well. Daniel Edwards, Cambridge driver. Cool, and you got the interior there as well. Which isn't really that exciting. There's a HST, absolutely powering through. I guess it probably meant to be like an unlicensed National Express East Coast. Maybe just East Coast. Cool. Yeah, this was like a big thing when it came out, the East Coast Main Line South. So I think, yeah, it was... Yeah, I mean, the West Coast Main Line South didn't release until 2019 or so, so this is, you know, this was way ahead. So it came out in 2013, I think this one was. Well, it was only 2 miles, so not too far. So we'll be ready for it. There's only a diddy little station, Welham Green, there's not really much to it. Just the 2 little platforms on the slow lines. So I'm only going to go up to 60 as we don't stop here often. And it's on the corner as well, I think. Yeah, it's not far off. Fingers crossed we don't go through it. That wouldn't be very good. Yeah, here it is here. So it'll come around that corner and then there it is. Right, now coming up to Welham Green. On our lovely stopper service. I think on the scenario time it said about 50 minutes. And we're not actually going, I mean, if we were a fast train from Welwyn Garden City to King's Cross, it would be like, what, 15 minutes? But yeah, as we're falling every single stop, it's a bit slower. Oh, there's the 4 coach stop marker, we're going a little bit past that. I saw that one down there and I was thinking, oh, S coach stop marker, or S car stop marker, but no. There we are, Welham Green. We don't know the station well, this one. And next up is Brookman's Park. Should only just about be in the platform, be in there. Only just. One of those sneaky stop markers. But it's literally just as you come in the platform, it's Oh well. Stop markers aren't that important. So train ready to proceed to Brickman's Park. Cool. There's like a 55 limit through Brickman's Park, but we'll stop it anyway, so we don't need to worry about that. Yeah, the 365s, they used to be DC as well, didn't they? And then they had their sort of overhaul one, and they're now AC only. I'm pretty certain they were DC as well. It's a bit like the 350s. They once upon a time were DC as well. I think one of the subclasses of the 350 was DC, and then they had sort of a whatnot, and then well, they're now AC only. But sadly, the 365s don't exist anymore. Didn't last for long. Well, not as long. Right, coming up to Brickman's Park. Yeah, I would have been playing this, but yeah, over 10 years, almost 10 years ago, on a really bad PC, on low graphics, so everything was all blurry, and then I played Train Sim Classic for basically 4 years, and then Train Sim World come out, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to be going back to that. And then skip 3 years ahead, basically 3 years without playing Train Sim Classic. Then got the PC, and after that, well, been playing it ever since. And start getting all the AP packs and enhancements and mods, and which really are the thing which make Train Sim Classic nowadays. So hopefully at some point we can show them off. Yeah, now modern Train Sim Classic is really Armstrong Powerhouse, Just Trains, ATS, all the third party behemoths. And Armstrong Powerhouse being a good example. It does actually have a few DLCs on the Steam store, but you can also get some externally which sort of improve, like this train. This has got like an enhancement pack which just sort of makes it a lot better, sort of goes in, improves it. Yeah. So that's really how my Train Sim Classic evolved, or Train Simulator evolved. 2014 to 2018, Train Sim World come out, didn't play it for about 2-3 years. And then yeah, got back into it, got all the EPs and third party stuff, and yeah, been playing it ever since again. So not too far to Potter's Bar. All the stations are quite close to one another on this run. As the biggest gap probably will be Potter's Bar to Hadley Wood. Or Finsbury Park to King's Cross, one of those two. All quite close. Yeah, not too far. Quite what's the word? Not an iconic station, Potter's Bar, but quite a recognisable station. I don't know, like when you go past it in real life in the game, it's just got that sort of unique look to it. I think it's probably the station canopies which just look a bit different. Don't know, is it just me, or does sort of Potter's Bar have that sort of unique look to it? Here. And here we are, Potter's Bar. Where are we stopping at this one? There. At the end of the canopy. And goes a fast service. Way down from Cambridge. Yeah, welcome to Potter's Bar. Sort of a slightly more significant station. We arrived near enough on time. What was it, 42? It'll do, it's fine. It's all good. Nice. And next up is Hadley Wood. Proceed to Hadley Wood. Well, let's make up the time. Full whack. Let's get out of here. Right, back up to 75, which I think it does. I mean, yeah, 75 on the slow lines all the way. Where does it go up? I think past Hitchin it might then go up to 90 or so. But yeah, the slow lines aren't quick. Yeah, I suppose to say the fast line, which there's 115, we're going to go up to 75. I'm sure that they could probably raise it nowadays. I mean, I know you had the 313 running on here, which literally is 75 miles an hour. Through here, okay, just about. So we go through two tunnels, and Hadley Wood is sort of sandwiched in between two. So we go through this one, then another one, and Hadley Wood's just directly after that next one. Oh, the dirt on the windscreen there can be at a worse sort of position. No, that works. Yeah, you could do that, I suppose. That's what more like camera's angles for. Get above the dirt. Yeah, it's a bit of sort of green space here. And then we get the other tunnel, and then Hadley Woods, well, just after that. Quite a few tunnels on the. There's quite a few tunnels on this part of the East Coast Main Line. But then if you go sort of north out, well, basically north of north of the tunnel just south of Nebworth, there's like no tunnels for ages on the East Coast Main Line. I'm trying to think what the next tunnel after the one sort of near Nebworth is. Be Edinburgh, would it? That far up? There's not a lot of tunnels on it apart from this section. No, really, we're going right to the. Okay. Yeah, what is the next tunnel? Because you get the sort of double one in Nebworth. Oh, hang on. No. Silly me. There's the ones like Grantham. How on earth could I almost forget them? Yeah, you get the the two tunnels at Grantham. Then after that, and perhaps then after that, there's not another tunnel until. I'm just trying to think of the next tunnel north of Grantham. On the East Coast Main Line. It's quite flat. I mean, the whole way is flat. And then once you get to sort of York, then it sort of gets a bit more hilly after above Darlington, I suppose, up to Newcastle. But I don't think there's any tunnels along there. Right, New Barnet next. Let's go. I don't know. Come on, Barlow, what is the next tunnel north of the one north of Grantham? Surely it can't be the one in Edinburgh, or coming into Edinburgh. Must be another one I'm forgetting. And I'm thinking, I can't think of any. And let's go. Cool. Off to New Barnet, which again is not far. As we get closer and closer to London. I suppose we sort of are in London now, aren't we? New Barnet. Is that the top end of the Northern Line? I think. I'm into the top end of the Northern Line. So all the stations are close on this bit. There it is, this is New Barnet. Oakley Park, New Southgate, Alexandra Palace, Hornsey, Haringey, Finsbury Park, and then King's Cross. So we're cutting down the stations quite nicely. There it is, 3 to 4 coach stop. That'll do. How are we doing time wise? A couple of minutes late, but we have been going quite quick. So I don't know, we sort of lost that time. Unless that was between Hatfield and Welham Green where we were going a little bit slower. Unbelievable. Come on, let's get ourselves out of here. Oakley Park next, which is literally just round the corner. Let's go. Class 365. Very much within the suburbs of London now. Almost like a metro service now. But these trains are brilliant for it. I mean, they've got great acceleration, great braking. I mean, they're networkers, aren't they? Yeah, 365s are networkers. The AC networkers. Oh, they used to be DC as well. Yeah, all sadly gone now. Apart from, I think, is it the East Kent Railway has a couple of the drive-in coaches, and that's it. So not great. Now 365 ploughing its way through. And stop. Now, our stops have been pretty nice. Here we are. Now, only a minute late into this one, so we made up a minute somehow. Yeah, New Southgate next. First Capital Connect. Must be, I didn't mind First Capital Connect. Went on them quite a few times on the 319s, which were really nice. Well, they're a bit warm in summer, but apart from that, they weren't too bad. The seats were really nice. A bit low down, but nice. And we're off. Onwards to New Southgate. Which again isn't too far. It's weird playing this route, as there is actually an updated version of this route, which isn't on the Steam store. It's on the Alan Thompson Sim website, which is like, well, near enough modern day. With the line up to Cambridge, or up to King's Lynn. So it's always sort of weird coming back to this one and sort of pre-2016 or so. Well, say in 2014. It's all geared up for, well, 365s and different trains. What's that? We got there 70, that's alright. But still a pretty decent route though, the East Coast Main Line South, the default East Coast Main Line South. Obviously 80 miles between Peterborough and King's Cross, which is a really nice stretch of track, which hopefully we get in Trainsim well one day. I mean, well, we do have the East Coast Main Line, but we got the bit above this, Peterborough to Doncaster, sort of being on the fast part of the main line. Right, coming into New Southgate. And then the next state, well, Alexandra Palace, is where we then have the Hertford Loop join up. So you'll see a few more trains. Gets a bit busier. There's a 3-4 coach stop marker down here. It's going to be a really nice stop again, I think. Quite impressed. Passenger comfort at the next level. Look at that. Perfection. Well, this is New Southgate. And next up, Alexandra Palace. Ali Pally, as its little nickname. Come on, let's get out of here. 2 minutes late again. What's going on? I mean, the timings probably are actually auto-generated, so you know, it's literally AI. Like if you're going at top speed the full way and like e-braking into the station, well, not e-braking, but just going rather quick. And let's go. So speed's coming down to 60. This was also the route I played, when was it? It was 2022? Crazy, oh, yeah, October 2022. Dovetail, well, Jamie actually, he was up at, and Kat and Joe, Railfan TV, no, oh, that's loud, I was waiting for that to go first. But yeah, they were doing an event at King's Cross. When it was the Flying Scotsman Centenary event. So it's quite cool going up there and playing this route at King's Cross. Hopefully, maybe we can see more of that from Dovetail. You know, when like a new route releases for Train Sim World, go to the station where it's you know, somewhere on the route, one of the major stations on the route, set up a little gaming PC and get people playing the new route. That'd be cool. Yeah, this is Alexandra Palace. You got Bounds Grain Depot there. Coming in a little bit quick. Almost like the brakes are giving up for a second. They were like, no, not working. Must be a bit of a downhill gradient. Right, where are we stopping? There. Yeah, thanks to Dovetail for inviting us though to come along and be part of the 15th anniversary of Train Sim Classic. Still a thriving game. Wow. Third party thriving. And in a lot of ways it still is better than Train Sim World. I mean, a lot of people just sort of look at it graphically that, oh no, Train Sim World, you know, whacks it out the park, but Train Sim Classic can look good on certain routes, and it can look really good. Not better than Train Sim World, but close. I suppose the thing with Train Sim Classic is there's much more variety, and a lot more functionality as well. I mean, quite recently we had the Flirt. This is external third party. We had the Class 745 by Alan Thompson Sim, and literally you can press like every single button in the train, and it's like study level basically. Yeah, so in terms of, I suppose, sort of functionality, there's a lot more on Train Sim Classic, and even on Steam Store, things like the Class 460. That's got a whole load of functionality which you don't get in Train Sim World. And of course there's Steam as well, which is much better in Train Sim Classic. Right, coming up to Hornsey. Get the Hornsey depot on the left. Here we are. So I suppose, yeah, this would be like 717s now. Well, yeah, Class 717s running this. And probably more likely down to Moorgate. I didn't see a full. I only saw a 3 coach. We'll go up to the 6. Well, this is Hornsey. And Haringey up next. And we sit and wait. People on the train, get off the train. What they're doing? There's some sort of drill going on, testing. No, it's already in forward. I didn't set it to neutral. Oh well. Let's go. I'm just gonna save it. I mean, it shouldn't crash, but just in case. Since the recent core update, it's pretty smooth. And then the one before that also made it quite smooth. Just good. On we go. Almost at journey's end though. Been a nice journey, as always on this route. Here we are, welcome to Haringey. Right to the end? Yeah, right to the end. Unless there was a coach stop marker hidden away, something that's an S coach stop. Get in there, get in there, get in there, come on! And bit of step 1. Lovely. Right, you do that, you go into that, and do that. Haringey. Then onward to Finsbury Park. But if you have made it this far in the video premiere, feel free to leave a thumbs up. I'm sure as part of the Dovetail event, there'll be other people on after this. So yeah, do stick around. See you to Finsbury Park. I mean, that looks pretty good there in that lighting, the gantries, the tracks, everything sort of looks good. Obviously, yeah, not as good as Train Sim White. Well, don't know. In some way, I'd say the OHLE probably looks better. I don't know, but there are certain things we do look better on here. Finsbury Park is just here, sort of the next major station. Big interchange one with the Piccadilly line. Don't think the Victoria stops in it. Piccadilly line for sure. Then the line down to Welwyn Garden City. No, down to Moorgate. And well, just general Thameslink stuff. I mean, when this is set, you wouldn't have Thameslink going through to say like Brighton and Horsham, but nowadays you do. It's actually here fairly recently, actually. Well, almost 2 weeks as of recording this. As I've been on holiday, almost done now. So yeah, went up to, what did I do? Yeah, went round to Moorgate, did it up to Finsbury Park, then went one stop back to King's Cross, and then did St Pancras up to Bedford, and back on the EMR Luton Airport Express. Then you've got the Emirates Stadium over there, so if you're an Arsenal fan, you can cheer on, but if you're, I suppose, any other fan, you can be like, boom, pull funny faces and make certain expressions. Right, King's Cross. We're losing points, look, 246, is that it? Oh well. Because we're too good, we're losing points. The game can't handle it. Right, let's go. into King's Cross, which isn't that far. Most of it's in a tunnel. Yeah, so you've got the line down to Moorgate, which goes off there on the left. And I think there's also, that's also the link which can take you towards the... Is it the one which can... yeah, I think the LNER is like a freight line, but it can go down into Liverpool Street. Am I right in thinking that? It's like a little link there. I think they were testing it a few months back where like an Azuma went down into Liverpool Street, sort of, you know, if there was engineering work, say at King's Cross or major disruption, they could sort of route round into Liverpool Street. So we got 2 tunnels. I can't remember what this one's called, but I know one's called the Gasworks Tunnel, but I think that's the next one. Oh, the game's getting a bit unhappy. Uh-oh. Don't say it's crashed. Well, that's not good. It's frozen for a little while now. There, I'm just going to save it just in case. That's probably it loading in King's Cross. And St Pancras and all of those places. Hopefully. Quite cool this, the way sort of come over and like an extra high tunnel. A little gap, a little bit of light where you've got high speed 1. There's another 365. You got the little gap here, you got high speed 1 up there. And down to 15 at the end of the tunnel. But at the moment we've got a red, so... And yeah, then we poke out into King's Cross. Quite a cool sort of entry into it. Probably on one of the side platforms as well. Yeah, that was a journey from, Welwyn Garden City, which... Pretty Sim was the first ever place I drove from in Train Sim Classic down to King's Cross on, I think, the first ever scenario I did. Just in time. I was also here quite recently as well. Took the Azuma up to Edinburgh, spent a day there, and then, came back. It's a really nice station. Again, this is one I really hope we do see in Train Sim World at some point. I know I always mention Train Sim World, but that's sort of the next gen of Train Sim. The noisy HSTs, which sadly you don't see here anymore. And basically all the trains you see in this scenario don't exist anymore. Or at least don't run here anymore. I mean, 365s are gone, HSTs do still run, but not here anymore. A different time. A bygone era. Although you do still see 180s, which is the DLC on here. I'm going to sort right to the buffer as you've got the fence there. That will do. Let's do the DRA. Up there. Set that to neutral. Left side door release. Pop you down. You goes off. And I want the tail lights on. Tail lights. There. Right, you go on like that. Cool. Well, that was King's Cross. Well, no, Welling Garden City to King's Cross. Hopefully everybody. Oh, you're not opened. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed it, and obviously thanks again to Dovetail for allowing us to come on and show off the ETML South. Sort of my little story of Train Simulator. That was a successful drive. Nice. Apart from that, thanks all for coming in. Do stick around. I'm sure there'll be another ambassador or Jamie on after this. And if you're watching on my channel, thanks all for coming in. Apart from that, thanks all for coming in, and hopefully we'll see you next time. See you all. Take care. Bye, guys.